Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing and explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today we are doing tip number 5 on releasing the resistance that blocks you from, did I say release? Releasing the resistance that blocks you from receiving what you most want in life. So I'm doing a whole series on resistance and all the different ways that we resist. If you haven't heard the saying, what you resist persists. And it's absolutely true, because from where I live, teach, and practice from, your consciousness creates your reality. So when you're resisting something, all of your consciousness is focused on something you don't want. You're fighting against or defending against what you don't want. And whatever you focus upon, consciously or unconsciously, that will flourish. So when we resist something, we're actually giving our attention to something that we don't want or limits us. And when we understand how we're resisting and we learn how to release the resistance, then you can open the flow, and the things that you've been wanting and working towards can come in where before they were blocked. So today's tip number 5, is all about expectations. So I'd like you to think about what is something in your life that you want. Maybe you have goals or dreams, or you've been working really hard towards them. And what do you expect is required for you to have that in your life, for you to receive that in your life? As you start to connect with your expectations, and we go through today's Rise and Receive, I think you're going to really discover, wow, I've been getting in my own way. And just with today's tip, you'll be able to start to soften that, get out of your own way, and open up the flow. So I'm going to give you some ideas, okay? Let's say you're focusing on job, and you either want a better job, or you want to change jobs, or you don't have a job at all and you want to find one. And you expect that what needs to happen, what's required for this job situation to manifest, is for the economy to change, or that you need to get extra training. Okay, maybe you're focusing on relationships, and you either want a relationship that you don't have, or you have a relationship that you wish were better or were changed, or you need to figure something out to be more fulfilled with relationship. And you expect that, let's say you're wanting to manifest a romantic relationship, and you expect that you're going to have to date a lot of frogs or deal with a lot of drama, or perhaps you expect that there's no good ones out there, or they just want you for your money. Or they're hiding something. So there's expectations that we might be conscious of and even unconscious of. And maybe you're focusing on money, whether you need more money or want to grow your money or want to protect your money. Maybe you've been, you're just starting out, and you have some big goals, and you're kind of new to the job market. Maybe you're a young person, and you have an expectation that you have to be patient, or you have to pay your dues. You're going to have to wait a certain amount of time. You're going to have to really make a lot of sacrifice and work really, really, really hard and burn the candle at both ends of, like you just don't get any sleep. And that's what's required to change or improve your money situation. And maybe you're focusing on your body, and you either want to feel more attractive or beautiful or healthier or get rid of symptoms. And you have expectations that, let's say you want to lose weight, very common one, and you think that what's required is you have to deprive yourself, right? Or you have to be really, really strict, right? And as soon as you aren't strict anymore, you're just going to gain some more weight. Or maybe your expectation is that, yeah, I can have the body I want to have, but I'm not going to enjoy the process. It's just going to be hard work and discipline, and it won't be any fun. So just kind of think about your goals and think about what your expectations are, and then let today's Rise and Receive shine the light on where you can release some resistance. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I mentor ambitious, goal-oriented people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And the way that I do this is I teach ambitious, goal-oriented people the skill that most of them do not have. It's one primary skill, and that is how to receive. Because most ambitious, goal-oriented people are really skilled at being human doings. So they have all the skills, or a lot of skills, that require a lot of thinking, a lot of action, and they behave like a hunter in their lives, and they have these goals and they pursue it like a target on the horizon. And that's great up to a point. But there's this whole other skill set that allows you to receive what you've been working so hard for. And when you don't have that skill, you tend to develop these blind spots where you can only look at receiving your skills as transactional. If I do all this stuff, then I can receive. But when you don't receive what you want and you don't have that other skill, what do? As ambitious, goal-oriented people, we work even harder. So we get trapped on this hard work treadmill when what we really need to do is get off the treadmill and tap into this other skill, which is in the realm of human beingness. And the primary skill that human beings really are great at is how to stop all the hard work and receive what they've been working so hard for. So all of the skill that's required in receiving are inner world skills. And so we work in consciousness, and resistance is something that happens in consciousness first. I always say that struggle begins in the mind. So when you understand the terrain of your inner world, you start to dissolve your upper limits, and all kinds of things can come in that you just couldn't allow in before. So that's what we're doing here today. Now let's talk about expectations. Expectations are basically this special mix of conviction, and conviction is more than just a belief. It's conviction is, this is the way it is. It's like belief, but deeper, okay? Plus proof. You've been gathering in evidence that this is why it's the way it is, and this is how you know it's the way it is. And it's also, part of the ingredients of expectations is a preference for being in control. So when you have an expectation, let's say you want to get a job, and you have this expectation that the economy is going to have to change. Well, the stronger your conviction is that this is why I don't have the job that I want, which is more than belief. It's like, this is what I know. And you've been collecting proof and evidence in your outer world about it. And the idea of not knowing why you don't have a job is just like, then I'm powerless. So you kind of commit to being right about this is why you don't have a job. That's the need for control. Conviction and proof and control that's happening in your inner world is what's going to set up your expectations. Now, you heard me say that your consciousness creates your reality. And here's the thing. If you have an expectation that something is going to be a certain way, you will be right, because conviction plus proof plus control, which means you're just really focusing on that one belief system, is going to be the sum total of your consciousness. And it doesn't matter how many abundant synchronistic opportunities are out in the world, you will not be open to receiving it, because your consciousness is going to be on, I can't get a job until the economy changes. And you can apply this to all those other areas of life. You have conviction about the way it is. You have proof. See, this is why. I told you this is why. And this need for control that requires you to be right, okay, you're going to be stuck. That's going to be your upper limit, okay? So you can either be right and stick with your expectations, or you can be fulfilled. You can really open up to entirely new possibilities. So what does it mean then in order to let go of being right and open up to being fulfilled? I call it 3 areas of willingness. You must be willing to shift around your convictions, shift around where you're gathering your proof, and shift around your need for control. So how do we do that? We do that with willingness. So we begin to explore how to feel safe as you let go of control. You also become willing to be humble, which means that you don't know everything. Perhaps what you believed about what it requires to get a fulfilling job is not about the economy. It's about something else. And finally, you need to become willing to be open to seeing things, open to seeing your success, your fulfillment, your job hunt, your relationship desires, your body goals, your money goals. You have to be open to seeing that whole realm in a different way. Those are the 3 areas of willingness. So let's talk more about expectations and where they come from. All right. So our minds are these machines that gather data and memories and imprints and conditioning. And so that becomes the lens through which we see the world. That becomes our consciousness. So sometimes your expectations can be based in the past. Let's say you've had some not fun relationship experiences in the past, and more than one of them, right? So then the more you have those experiences, that starts to formulate, the past experiences start to formulate your expectations of dating and relationships. So the past is one of the things that can influence the proof that you're gathering around what you're expecting. So if you expect dating to be hard and no fun, and you're gonna have to date a lot of frogs, then you will be right. But if you remember that the past doesn't equal the future, and you can practice being open to new possibilities, and I'm going to give you a tip about exactly how to do that, then those expectations can just fall away, and you just opened up some more to new possibilities. See, when you have an expectation, that is the source of resistance. As I've talked about in past tips in this series, receiving is about practicing staying open by allowing flow to happen. So when you've got expectations and you're in the space of receiving something you want, the space in which you receive gets filled with those expectations, and those expectations can't flow or move for something new to come in. But when those expectations can rest, then the space opens up and you can receive something new. Receiving is about letting life be the provider versus you being the sole provider in human doing mode. All right. So the past. Other people are a source of expectations. If you really listen to this, what do they call it? The peanut gallery or the committee or the Supreme Court in your head, like you've got other people, parents and friends and advisors and social media and the news, and other people are filling your head with what is true. Here's the proof. This is what you should pay attention to. Your expectations will be formed by other people. And it will make it very difficult for you to stay open to something better and more fulfilling. So as you start to release the space that's filled of all of these other people's opinions about what you should expect, just let that land and open up, then something new can come in. The resistance can flow. Another one is your knowledge base. So let's say that you have a certain knowledge base about what's required to save money, to make money, to invest money. Okay. And maybe you're pretty well informed, or you've been doing a lot of research, right? So you can actually, and this kind of combines to another cause of expectations, you can combine your knowledge base with even an incredible imagination, a best case scenario, right? And even if that's your expectation, which is a good expectation or best case scenario, or, you feel pretty confident because of your knowledge base, guess what? Even that can be limiting, because it could be even more or better than what your best case scenario and your knowledge base have to offer you. And maybe what you know also causes you to be pessimistic. So your knowledge base, again, what you know in your mind informs the expectations, and it's a cause of resistance. It can block the flow. And then finally, negative expectations. Again, this often is rooted in the past, but it can be rooted in other people's input. So we have negative expectations. Maybe we're afraid, maybe we're not confident about a certain scenario. So we approach something in our lives with negative expectations or limiting expectations. That's going to cause resistance, because what you focus upon flourishes, and those expectations, you'll be right. Okay, so I wanted to offer you a bunch of different ways that you can start to look at where do you have expectations. And as you start to check in with this and kind of check it against that little mini list, you may discover, this is an opportunity to explore how to feel safe as I let go of control by having to know what I think is going to happen. All right, to become humble and say, you know what, if I let go of these expectations, I don't even really know what's going to happen. I don't know is a really powerful place to be. It might be uncomfortable, but it's very expansive, because that also allows you to become open. So here are 2 willingness affirmations that you can practice, because affirmations are the tool of consciousness that allows you to release the resistance of expectations and open up to more and better. So first of all, every time you notice that you're having any kind of an expectation, especially negative ones where you're kind of anticipating and not looking forward to it, maybe you've got some dread, but even if you've got a high expectation, you can use this as well. Just stop and notice, those are some expectations. I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. It's an affirmation I use a lot at Rise and Receives because it's so easy and so powerful and so fun. The hardest thing about it is noticing when you have an opportunity to use it. So anytime you're preparing or wishing or wanting or working towards a goal or dream, stop and notice if there's an expectation that's limiting in any way, and simply say, I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised. I use this all the time, and it's really fun to see how the flow of possibilities keeps revealing itself and how often I'm pleasantly surprised. Another one is from the Receive Oracle card deck. This is a great way to keep learning about the skill of receiving, especially if you're an ambitious, goal-oriented person and it's not a strength for you, or maybe it's a brand new concept. So these cards, I developed them last year. They're on Amazon. You can get your own. And this is today's card, Soothe Your Need to Know. So anytime you're feeling like I've got these negative expectations, but I don't know, I don't know if this is right, and I'm nervous about letting go of this belief system, or, anytime we're facing the unknown or uncertainty, I always say practice replacing the word uncertainty with spaciousness. To see if you can let yourself explore spaciousness rather than filling up the space with these expectations and need to know. And then you can use this affirmation. I am willing to find safety in the unknown because what I know is limited at best. I am willing to find safety in the unknown because what I know is limited at best. If you practice willingness affirmations, it's one of the most powerful things you can do, because now you're directing your consciousness that creates your reality in the most empowering way. Free of expectations, not attached to form, and open to the flow where life can provide for you, because life always offers kindness. No, life is not always kind. We know this. However, life always offers kindness, and if you're open to receiving it, it will reveal itself. All right? So if you like this, please like and share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. Click on the red subscribe button. I'll let you know each time I release a new video tip, new Rise and Receive, and other mini trainings. And if you'd like to take some next steps with really learning how this skill of receiving, if you realize, oh my gosh, she's right, I actually have no idea how to receive, and it is its own skill set that produces wonderfully powerful, life-changing results, I got a couple tips. One is check out those cards. They're really easy. There's 56 receiving principles that you can explore. And definitely come join me at the Receive community here on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/groups/Receive community. It's growing and inviting and receiving more people every day who are really interested in learning how to receive their fulfillment by unlearning struggle. And it's a wonderful community to be around like-minded and like-hearted people. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everyone.